So this week we're talking about the shoulders, how to keep them healthy, the anatomy and structure of it, and of course how to build big ones. Today we will mainly be talking about the structure, the anatomical structure of the shoulder, specifically bones, things that move. We won't really get into too deep of musculature until Wednesday. Fun fact, the hips and the shoulders are the two ball and socket joint groups in the body, but the shoulder has to be far more mobile, almost as if it's a floating ball and socket. So the shoulder ball and socket is very loose and free-flowing, is unstable within itself, and that is why we have the scapula. It is the structure that helps stabilize and control the shoulder and give it proper, safe, and secure movement. Scapula has four distinct methods of movement. It can be depressed, it can be retracted, it can be elevated, it can be protracted, and it can do two of these things at the same time. So you can retract and elevate, you can depress and protract, just for examples. So two important ranges of the shoulder that are very important for just overall function and also for athletics is shoulder flexion and shoulder extension, and these positions are often impeded if you have poor shoulder health. So shoulder flexion is my ability to do this, arm going overhead like that, and extension is the ability for it to go like that and the arm to come behind me in such a manner. So as I mentioned, these ranges are often impeded by tight and overactive muscle groups. We're going to go over these muscle groups and more so musculature of the shoulder and how to improve your shoulder health on Wednesday. All right, guys, the information today will be surrounding the musculature of the shoulder and how that impacts both your everyday life as well as performance. Enjoy. All right, so let's talk about the muscles impacting the shoulder from the anterior view. So that's the frontal view, and that is the chest, pec major, pec minor. You got a serratus anterior right here, and you have like kind of like the bicep tendon that kind of comes up and through here. So what happens when there is restrictions or dysfunctions of the muscles that I talked about? Well, that can cause shoulder restriction, which leads to shoulder discomfort, which will eventually lead to shoulder pain, and that's no good. So when the chest is tight, it can pull the shoulder forward, causing the shoulder to rub against structures and musculature there. We call this an impingement, and that prevents you from doing certain exercises or bring your arm overhead without pain. So one way to prevent this from happening is myofascial releasing or relaxing the chest muscles, allowing the shoulders to go from this position to this position, which is better for it. So let's talk about the muscles on the back of the shoulder now. We can mention some notable ones like the lat, the rhomboid major and minor, your teres major, and of course your rotator cuff muscles. So these muscles help the shoulder go down and back, depression and retraction, when they are contracted. So if they are locked long, they're dysfunctional, and that means they cannot safely protect and stabilize your shoulder. So the rotator cuff is a group of muscle and tendons that essentially holds the shoulder in place while simultaneously allowing it to be like this free-flowing, mobile structure. So a good way to remember the muscles of the rotator cuff is a nice little acronym called SITS, which, and forgive me, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. Ha, I did it. I hope you enjoyed learning about the anatomy of the shoulder today. Stay tuned for Friday where we'll go over shoulder exercises and things you can do to help make your shoulders big and strong. So guys, it's Friday, the day you've been waiting for. We're finally going to review both corrective exercises as well as strengthening exercises for the shoulder. Guys, one of the first exercises we're going to go over is called serratus activation. Serratus muscle group right here helps with shoulder flexion. You're going to put this against the wall or something slidey. You're going to press into the wall with the whole arm here, keeping the shoulders as far away from your ears as possible. Come up to here, and then come right back down. Hey guys, this next exercise I call tabletop mid-back activation. I use it to help with internal rotation of the shoulder and to fix dysfunctions like winged scapula. So you're going to have your hand, you're going to place the back of your hand on your butt. You're going to drop your shoulder away from your ear. Then you're going to point your elbow towards the ceiling, and then you're going to lift your hand off your butt. And you should feel your mid-back light on fire. Guys, one of the best ways to isolate and strengthen the shoulder is the dumbbell Z press. So 2 weights stacked right here, press straight up, come straight down. Rinse and repeat this. You're going to feel a lot of shoulder and actually a lot of core movement as well. Now we're going to talk about the reverse fly and targeting the rear part of the shoulder. So did you know, based on your grip, you can essentially target and change where you're hitting on your reverse fly. So the standard is palms face each other, so palm facing this way, reverse fly. What you can also do is you can do palm forward and do your reverse fly, or you can go palm back and do your reverse fly. And try that out and see how you're going to target all the different muscles of that rear shoulder and your back. Guys, did you know that the deadlift actually is healthy for your shoulders? Performing a barbell deadlift actually forces your shoulders and your scaps to be in a depressed and retracted position. So keeping the barbell, keeping the shoulders depressed and retracted, and then standing up, boom, and then holding that position on the way down as well is a great way to focus on, once again, depression and retraction of the shoulder, and it positively changes the relationship of your shoulders to your spine. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed the content series about the shoulder. We went over some corrective exercises as well as exercises for strengthening the shoulders. If you have any more questions of the shoulders, go ahead and ask them in the next story.